Welcome, everyone. Brawley, California, Bob Farrell Sports Complex. I'm Will Torres with Ryan Leone. We are VSN. Ryan, welcome to VSN.
Thank you, Will. Thanks for having me.
Now, this is our second year covering. Of course, we skipped a COVID year, and but Brawley is back with Queen of the Mat, which is one of the most exciting things when it comes to women's wrestling.
Yeah, especially down here. Back when I was in high school, girls wrestling wasn't really prominent. Girls had to wrestle with the boys for a chance to get on the mat. And just over the past 5 years, the growth has been great, especially down here in the Valley. This is the fourth year of having this tournament. It would have been the fifth, obviously, past couple of years.
Yeah.
COVID happened, so this is the fourth annual, and it's just done nothing but grown over the past couple of years.
Well, one thing I've noticed, Ryan, and of course there's a big tradition here when it comes to boys wrestling. I mean, it's just, you're talking in the teens, 15, 16, 17 CIF championships here. What number is it? Is he at 20?
It hit 20.
He's at 20, yeah.
It hit 20, and then last year is up for debate, but 20 CIF, consecutive CIF titles for the boys team.
So credit to that, to Tony Leone. Started with Keith Smith. Tony Leone carried it on. So credit to that organization, that structure, that foundation that was built. The girls started here. Now, the one thing I've noticed about all that, Ryan, is that Brawley is one of the strongest, and not only in competition, but also when it comes to the quantity of wrestlers that the women programs has, because the other schools, I'll see 5 matches. Actually, Brawley almost has two sets of teams right here, or correct?
Yeah. The female numbers have just been insane the past couple of years. It was really getting some really good traction. Obviously, before COVID hit, they grew out of the space that they had to wrestle in pretty quickly. The numbers have just been great, and more girls every year they get that interest and they get in the room, and for the most part, most of them stick it out.
Yeah, and of course, one of the other things that I really like about wrestling, every time I hear about a wrestler, as you know, we cover football. Yeah. I mean, they're just standouts and whatever. I mean, you look at Robert Platt, Robert Platt's son,
Robert.
Yeah, Robert Jr., yeah. I mean, you look at him, and that just transitions to every other sport they're due. When it comes to, I know that wrestling is a more individual sport, but it's still the team points. It's still you start after you go to CIF, after you go to Masters, and then you go to states and stuff.
Correct.
But in the football sense, it really shows in the other sports how well-rounded they are when it comes to athletic persons. What does it do to the women's side of it, and what sports does it help there? Because the only bad thing is it's during the same time as basketball. So
True. For the most part, I just think wrestling is just one of those sports that's going to translate in any facet in any other sport. We've had a couple girls that have gone from wrestling into softball, into swimming. It's just it's a different kind of dynamic or stimulus for these young athletes, and I think just being able to diversify in high school is just going to help them in anything they choose to do.
I truly believe that wrestling is one of those sports that'll do it, and congratulations to all the Brawley program. So with that said, while they're introducing us, we will be right back after some of our word from our sponsors that have supported VSN during our football season that's transferring over to the wrestling season. So for Will Torres, Ryan Leone, Joaquin Matus, Ron Rubio, Saud, we'll be right back after this.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today, 760-337-8600.
Welcome back to VSN, Queen of the Mat in Brawley, California, Bob Farrell Sports Complex. I am Will Torres. With me is Ryan Leone as we look on to some of the semifinalists and consolation winners here. Ryan, explain what's going on right now.
Just in terms of this tournament, it's one of those opportunities for a lot of wrestlers to get their hand at having competition. But because of that, there are a lot of girls that are new to the sport, new to wrestling. So one of the things that they do here at this tournament is they run a varsity bracket, but they also run a novice bracket. So a lot of girls is their first year wrestling. Some girls that are here, I mean, we're almost done with the season, the regular season, and this might be their first time having a tournament. So they ran a novice tournament alongside the varsity tournament, and basically what we're doing here is we're awarding those girls who competed in that novice tournament, just to give them as much exposure, mat time as possible.
Yes, because some of the things that's going to happen, it gives a chance for a lot of other people. Like there is no freshman JV levels. Is that what you mean by that?
True. It's not there yet with the female wrestling, just because it's still so new.
Yeah.
Even for the boys' side, sometimes it's hard to find a freshman team in the Valley. So it's one of those sports where it's kind of hit or miss year to year. But the female sport is growing. And because they don't have those necessary freshman or sophomore tournaments or even duels, it's just an opportunity for them to get on the mat.
Well, and that definitely helps when it comes to these type of tournaments, because it gives them the opportunity to keep going and not just practice. And let's just say there's three individuals in the same weight class, and there's always a strong individual, whether for whatever reason, that's always going to happen most of the time. It gives them a chance to wrestle. That's the whole point about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, competition is competition. It's important for any kind of sport.
Exactly.
Just getting it. You know how important those freshman football games are for kids down here. They go from
Yes.
Pop Warner, even some who've never played football before. They get into high school. They want to be a team sport. They join football, and they get that opportunity to play at least 6-7 games. It's important.
And speaking of the girls wrestling program, tell us a little bit about the coaching staff. What group of people, kept that going? We've had the great Billy Brewer that was, fundamental in bringing and being part of that CIF and the boys, and then he actually, how did that all start with the girls wrestling, and who are the coaches right now?
So to answer this question, I'll start with the boys team. So yes, Coach Smith ran the Brawley Union High School boys wrestling team for a long time, and while he was there, he had several assistant coaches, but two I do want to point out would be Tony Leone, who is the boys head coach now and has been since 2004, but also Tony's brother Ray, who is my uncle, and he was coaching with the boys team for a long time, and a couple years back there came an opportunity for a girls program to start, and I'm talking like 3 to 5 girls that really wanted to wrestle. And Ray, being a father of all daughters, it just kind of naturally he gravitated that way, and he fell in love with the female side of the sport. Obviously he was in love with the sport itself, and they had a successful first year. Next thing you know, more girls coming out. So Ray has kind of transitioned into the full-time girls wrestling coach. He is the head coach of the program, and he has Joel Duenas, who's helping him, who also wrestled for Coach Smith and helped with the boys team here and there, as well as Damian Gomez, who also wrestled for the boys team. He wrestled under Tony, but they are all helping out, and that's kind of the program they have right now. Good, consistent 3 coaches, strong. They do what they can in the space that we have, and the girls seem to love them all.
Now, one of the other questions I have, how many divisions is there when they start competing when it comes down to the CIF?
So CIF for females is a little different, only because there aren't as many schools that have designated programs
Right.
yet. It's just not there yet. So as far as I am aware of, there's only 2 divisions in San Diego for the girls wrestling. So they took the allotted amount of schools that they did have, and they broke them into 2 divisions.
Okay, and what division, for example, what division is Brawley in?
Brawley is in Division 2 because unlike other sports that under CIF, as far as the division breakdowns go,
It goes by school size, is that correct?
in wrestling, because it is an individual-based sport, there's an individual aspect to the sport, meaning that they're going to go by size of schools to determine division. Whereas a team sport such as football is now under a strength of schedule or power division, right?
In other words, they never changed. When CIF, when Jerry Schneff was down there, and there was, I mean, something needed to be changed. Granted, it's not perfect right now,
Correct.
but wrestling stayed with you will be in the division that your school size is.
Yes, so individual-based sports, so wrestling, track and field, swimming, those opportunities for where their individual achievements or champions, because they won't be affected by, because you guys have a stronger strength of schedule, you're forced into a certain division. So they're staying with the standard school size.
Okay, for example, though, Ryan, let's just say that Brawley has 35 girls on their wrestling team, and you go down to El Centro, or let's just use Calexico as an example. They're they're probably the top 5 biggest populated school here in San Diego County and Imperial County, definitely Imperial County. So if you only had a 5-lady team wrestling team, would they still go into Division 1?
Yes.
Oh, so that's interesting.
Well, that's my understanding as far as the boys' side is concerned. I'm pretty sure the females run the same exact way, because I don't see why you would separate the two. It's the same sport.
Yeah, you can't be changing the rules just to accommodate one school, because that is going to get so out of hand.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's
So-
like, if I can bring a reference into it, the boys' team, there were a couple of years where we would bounce back from 3 to 4 to 3 to 4. There were some Division 4 schools that not complained, but it would see Brawley's size and just how they would wrestle in a tournament compared to, say, a school like Wahomie Park. They get like 3 or 4 wrestlers, but they're still in Division 4 and have to wrestle a team as big or as prominent as Brawley in their division. But it's all based off school size.
And first of all, let's speak about Imperial Valley.
Okay.
Imperial Valley probably has Brawley probably has the biggest wrestling program in Imperial Valley. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How have they won any championships in the CIF?
Yes, Brawley has won, I believe, 2 CIF titles, possibly 3.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I just don't have that information in front of me. But yes.
Okay. And is there any other schools in Imperial Valley? And then, well, not. Let me ask you this: who are the top schools in the San Diego County in Division 2 that are always in the mix? Because look, when we all know about the boys, we definitely, and we're trying to educate the people and educate myself. I'm fairly new to the women's wrestling, because it's an interesting sport and it's a growing sport. But we know you have your Powways, we know you have your Rancho Bernardos, you have your Brawleys, which with 20 CIF championships, and I'm sure Powway last year won Masters. I keep going to last year, but I'm talking pre-COVID. That was when COVID hit, right after the Masters at Southwest High School.
Correct.
So who were the top schools when it comes to women's wrestling in high school?
As far as females, you have Brawley. Eastlake has a pretty good-sized program. Some schools in the South Bay, like Olympian, is starting to develop a program, as well as a school, Claremont. They've had certain years where they have had good amount of teams, good size, because obviously one of the most important factors for having a girls team is turnout. It's getting those numbers out of those girls. So the more you see from here in schools, here and there, the more it's gonna grow.
Right. So, well, interesting as we still wind down to some of these consolation prizes that they're still giving out right now. And we were only in about less than 15 minutes to go for the finals to start. So once again, it's Ryan Leon, Will Torres with VSN. And a couple more minutes, we're going to do a national anthem, and we'll come back after a word from our sponsors. Once again, see you in a bit. All right,
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Welcome back, everyone, as we get ready for the face-off, get ready for the finals here. And Ryan Leone will walk us through this right here, as this is probably one of the funnest times for a wrestler when they dim down the lights and the focus is directly on their opponent as the girls get ready. Ryan, get us through this.
All right, yeah, you nailed it with that one, Will. This is one of the greatest moments. Actually, we're going to do the national anthem really quick.
We'll get our national anthem going first.
Sung by Brawley Union High School student, Miss Sharon Lee.
And that was a great addition by Miss Lee right there. And I do want to apologize. I did have my mic off for the start of the national anthem. But once again, getting ready for the face-off here. Ryan Leone.
Yeah, so face-off traditionally here. Opponents are going to be announced. These are the finalists. They're getting their due time in front of the public that is here to watch. Basically, we're just going to run down all the names of the finalists who are facing each other in each weight class.
Some of the wrestlers to watch out for here, Ryan.
Obviously, anybody wearing blue and gold is always someone to watch out for, personally.
That's true.
But a couple of young girls coming out of Brawley at 108 pounds, I believe. Mia Navarro, tough sophomore. Didn't have much of a freshman year, obviously, because of COVID and how that can affect the high school level.
You know, you mentioned COVID. This is one of those sports where it's had to take a little bit of toll on it because of the close contact. I mean, it's not like it's a baseball. And look, I even think this is a lot closer to football. How has COVID affected the wrestling community?
You know, and unfortunately, you're right. It is one of those face-to-face kind of sports. You're as close as you can be to an opponent. Right in front of you, breathing on it. One of the first couple of tournaments I had seen around the country after we had our lockdown and whatever, they were actually wearing face masks while they were wrestling. And it was just something different just to see. But it has affected some tournaments. You know, you pay for a tournament, you register for a tournament in a year. And there have been some tournaments that have just had to cancel just because of certain breakouts.
Wow. Okay, here we go now.
Flor Favela. Her opponent, also from Brawley, a junior, Lee Casares. At 108, from Brawley Union, a sophomore, Mia Navarro. Also a junior, Mary Santana.
Right here, the first two matches of the night, we're going to have some Brawley on Brawley matches. Just the way it kind of shook down. There were a couple of different bracket styles in this tournament, just because sometimes you got to roll with what you have, what comes in. So some of the brackets only had a certain amount of girls, so there will be two different brackets. They're going to have round robin matches.
Oh, cool.
Three
In the finals, you mean?
So we're going to wrestle the last match of the round robin in the finals.
That's why we were talking about earlier, because you were trying to settle that before the 170-pound class. Okay.
So 123 pounds is going to be the third match of a round robin. Round robin strictly just means there were 3 girls that showed up to wrestle today for that certain weight class. So in order to find a fair way of granting a champion, each girl is going to wrestle each other.
Oh, okay.
So girl A wrestle girl B in the first round, girl B wrestle girl C in the second round, and then in the third round, girl A is going to wrestle girl C. And basically, whoever has the best record after those 3 matches, someone has odds to be 2-0, or they could all be 1-1.
You know, Ryan, I'm glad you're here because I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
It's very rare, but like sometimes you have them in tournaments where you have a little bit of sparse in the numbers that show up. You'll see it a lot in little kids wrestling. It's where you'll see it the most. So we'll have a couple of those matches. Luckily for us, at 162, both of the girls that are wrestling in that third match both won their first match. So it'll truly determine who the champion of that bracket is. They're both going to go in at 1-0. But going to hit this one right on the head for Brawley. Savannah Gomez at 139 pounds is one of the better wrestlers in the country. Coming in today.
Now, you said it right, country. Not just state, you're talking country.
True. She is a multiple national champion in different off-season tournaments. She's a Fargo national champion. She's wrestled at the Flows, who's #1, Flow Nationals. She is one of those wrestlers that is going to have a spotlight on her every time she wrestles.
Now, will there be a team champion?
There will be a team champion. As far as I know, they are going to crown a team champion.
Okay.
Buena Vista, a senior, McKenna Hickman.
We have a total of 13 finals matches tonight. We're going to start at the lowest, and we're going to work our way up to the heaviest.
Which is called the traditional system.
Traditional system. Some tournaments, some of the bigger tournaments in the country, they get to the point where they get to a finals, and what they want to do typically is have the more higher ranked wrestlers that are going to be probably a more entertaining match later in the night.
Yeah.
So some prominent tournaments do that style. It can be a headache to get around sometimes, but I'm certainly glad we're doing traditional 108s all the way up.
I'm going to leave you alone for a while.
Okay.
Your mic's still on.
And it looks like we're going to get ready to wrestle here. 103 will be our first weight class of the evening. We are starting.
First match of the night of the championship round at 103.
We have 2 Brawley girls wrestling tonight in the 103-pound finals. We have Blanca Favela. She is a sophomore from Brawley. She's got a record of 9-2 on the season, and she was first at the Capistrano Valley tournament. Her opponent tonight is Jaylee Casares. She's a junior from Brawley also, a record of 15-3. She was first at Capistrano, second at Olympian, and fourth at Corona. Probably have a little filling out process here to start. Girls are probably familiar with each other, wrestled before in the wrestling room. All periods tonight will run 2-2-2 traditional championship rounds. Casares hits the front headlock into a go behind to score the first points of the tournament, or the finals, I should say. Casares working on top, looking for a breakdown. Riding tough, Favela starting to try to build their base, try to build back up. Wrestling here on the edge of the mat. Looks like Cáceres got a chicken wing arm bar in, trying to drive forward, looking to expose Favela's back. On her toes, driving, working to turn, and Favela's able to fight it off. Little reset in that the top-bottom position here. As mentioned, Cáceres is a junior. Favela is going to be hit with a stalling call down low. Stalling basically just means that the wrestler is not doing too much to work up. It's basically like a cautionary call by the referee to inform the wrestler they need to keep wrestling. Working up. Cáceres again with that arm bar, and we are going to go out of bounds and reset. (2-0) here in the first period in favor of Cáceres. Cáceres with a breakdown on top. Back to the working those wrists, looking to turn. Favela doing a good job of rolling out those wrists every time Cáceres is trying to advance. Both wrestlers wrestling tough, coming here close to the end of the first period. And that is time. Heading into the second period, it is going to be Favela's choice. Favela's going to take top. Cáceres getting set, waiting on the referee's whistle. Cáceres up to her feet. Favela needs to return. She's got that wrist on the neutral position here. Got to return her back to the mat. And Cáceres is going to get the escape. 3-0 in the second period. And we have an injury timeout. Cáceres looked to be favoring her ankle right now. Injury time is called in a standard wrestling match. A wrestler has a minute and a half of injury time. It's a running clock set by the referee. Once the injury time is initiated, that one and a half minute clock starts running. Whenever they are ready to go, the referee will stop the clock. If there's another injury time called, we will pick up at that same part it was stopped. If a wrestler does run out of injury time and does not return to action in that minute and a half, they will call the match in favor of the other wrestler. So it looks like Cáceres is back up. Injury time has been stopped. And we're going to get back to wrestling. Still in neutral position, Cáceres. Some confusion. Should be the neutral position here. It is the neutral position. So there's some confusion. So Cáceres with a 3-0 lead, a minute and 30 remaining in the second period. Favela needs to work for a takedown here, try and cut into that lead.
Which one is it on this one?
Favela working a hand fighting, trying to get inside, trying to work a takedown here. Cáceres doing a really good job of blocking and head blocking, trying to keep her out. Don't know how that ankle is feeling. Cáceres is on her feet here. But Favela's doing her job, trying to push that pace. Cáceres with a fake shot, go behind. Scores another takedown, bring her lead to 5-0 in the second period. Cáceres with that tight waist, working to break the base of Favela. Favela doing a good job working back up. Tough match here. Good glimpse into what kind of wrestling goes on inside the girls' wrestling room here at Brawley Union High School. Cáceres with that armbar again, working and driving, trying to expose that back points. Favela doing a really good job staying strong on that base. Still driving. 15 seconds remaining here in the second period. Looks like we're going to carry that 5-0 score heading into the third and final period here. Third period, it is Cáceres' choice. She's going to choose down. 5-0. Favela's got to get to work if she's going to pull off a win here. Cáceres to her feet quickly, fighting those hands, working towards the edge of the mat. Favela got to return, has to return. And there's a return out of bounds. Going to reset. Only 10 seconds off the clock there. Cáceres is a pretty accomplished wrestler here. Last year, or last couple of years, she's been second at CAF twice. She was fourth at Masters and seventh at the state and the end of the year, a season and a half ago, I should say. She's pretty top favorite. She did score an escape here in the third period with a 6-0 lead, working to stay up and earn a title here for Brawley. Favela is going to keep pushing, though. Ooh, Cáceres is now warm with the stalling. Again, there's just a caution here, and encouraging the wrestler to actually engage and wrestle back here. Hesitation shot by Favela, and Cáceres back on the head again, doing really good work with that snap down, go behind, scores another takedown. 8-0 here in the third period for Cáceres. It's going to ride tough and look to lock up a title here. Oh, Favela with an escape though. Scores her first point of the match, 8-1. Coming up on 45 seconds remaining in the third period. Cáceres being the junior. Oh, a caution point is given to Favela as Cáceres scores a takedown. Favela earns a point for Cáceres, not really engaging, more backing up, but still she's able to pull down and score a takedown, making the score 10-2. And it looks like she's going to hold on here. She works for a cradle on the near side, staying on top. And that's about to do it. Jaylee Cáceres, junior from Brawley Union High School, is your champion here at the Brawley Queen of the Mat tournament at the 103-pound weight class.
So thank you very much for that play-by-play. And I got to admit, really enjoy it. I hope everybody's enjoying Ryan Leon. And while we got a second right now, we have a special guest with us right now. Fred Miramontes, Imperial County Undersheriff, representing Imperial County in itself. Thank you for being here, supporting the student athletes here from Imperial Valley, Fred.
It's great. You know, it's great to be here at my alma mater here, the Brawley Wildcats, Class 76. Go Wildcats. And it's great to participate in this Ladies of the Mat tournament. Donated to the trophies and awards, and I'm here to support the program. So don't forget to vote June 7th, Miramontes for sheriff. Thank you.
All right, Fred. Well, thank you for stopping by and saying hello and helping out all the student athletes here at not only just in Brawley but the rest of Imperial County. So with that said, appreciate it, Fred. Best of luck in all your goals on.
All right. Go Wildcats.
So, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
These next two matches now are going to consist of Brawley High School students again.
Yes, so we're jumping into the 108-pound weight class here. We have Mary Santana out of Brawley. She's a junior, a record of 11-4. She was third at Capistrano Valley and first at Olympian this year, going up against a sophomore from Brawley, and Mia Navarro. She's got a record of 9-2. She's one of the more accomplished wrestlers here on the Brawley squad. She was second at Capistrano, third at Olympian, and first at Corona. Again, another matchup of teammates here. So these girls are probably going to be pretty familiar with each other, as Navarro is going to hit a sweep single, go behind here, score the takedown, and she jumps right on that armbar. Armbar is a weapon of choice for Mia. She's really aggressive, really tough on top, really a tough wrestler. And I think she gets that from her brothers. She's got 2 brothers who wrestle on the varsity team.
Okay, that would definitely help right there.
And she's going to hit a roll through tilt here, exposed for a 2 count. Still working. Points have not been awarded, but she's already scored a 2 count near fall. As she breaks the hold, the referee will award the points. And we are now at a 4-0 lead for Navarro, who's still tough on top. Yeah, she's got 2 brothers. One is a senior, the other is a freshman, and they are both wrestling this weekend elsewhere. So they're not here to support, but they get to watch her on VSN. As she exposes again with a half chicken wing combination. It's a tough move to get out of here. She's looking for a fall here. About 20 seconds left in the period. Still working on tough on top. It's getting tighter. And there's the pinfall. 2 seconds remaining in the first period. Mia Navarro is your champion at 108 pounds for the Wildcats.
By fall from Brawley, Mia Navarro.
Says something about a program when you got
Yeah.
4 finalists in 2 matches.
Yeah. Now, how many from Brawley did make the finals there, Ryan?
That is a good question.
Well, it's not so much an important question because we will definitely see them, but we know we definitely have Savannah coming up there. But still, Poway, look, there's a familiar name right there in the boys program out there, and it's good to see them. It's good to see that tradition going.
Yeah. So
That's 2 schools, Mount Carmel and Poway.
yeah, we got some traction from the San Diego County. They made the trek on down to compete, and they're getting some mat time. We have our finalists here tonight in the 113-pound weight class. From Mount Carmel High School is Lindsay Lopez. She is a sophomore. She is 3-0 in the year. This looks to be her first tournament of the season. Her opponent tonight is Xiomara Gallego. She's a freshman from Poway High School. She's 7-3. She was 2nd at Reno TOC, 1st at Queen of the Lake, and 2nd at Queen of the Beach. Now, you mentioned it, Will. Poway is a juggernaut boys program that's been top state contender year after year. So it's very different to see them have some females wrestling. This is the first time I've actually got to see any of their females wrestle. It's good to see. From what I know, the girls practice with the boys up there. They just have a couple of girls. They're starting to trickle in.
So the program's smaller when it comes to the girls division.
Yes, brand new it looks like.
Oh, okay. That does surprise me, though. That kind of does surprise me. Because right here in Brawley, I know that the girls are separated because the programs are so big.
Correct. Yeah, so that's another thing you might see around San Diego County, Imperial Valley, whereas there's only one room, there's only one place to practice, and sometimes you got to practice right after school. The teams are going to practice at the same time.
Yeah.
But back to the action here on the mat. 0-0, coming up on 45 seconds remaining here in the first period. A lot of tying up, a lot of wrestling here in the ties for Gallego and Lopez. Gallego looks like she's going to set up and try to wait for a certain leverage to hit a kind of throw, but she is called for a stalling as she is backing up. Lopez from Mount Carmel is initiating the action, driving them back, and there's one thing you can't do in wrestling. You can't back up. It's got to be a matter of circling.
So it's always an aggressive forward move.
That's,
well, I wouldn't say aggressive, though, right?
Yeah, no, not aggressive. It's just more of a strategic. You want to, as in a sense, stalk your prey, but you got to be able to stay in a good position and move. But if you look like you're just straight backing up away from, engaging in the action, the referee can make a judgment call to call you for a stalling, a stalemate.
And that's some of the things that changed over the last 10 years. There wasn't a stalling before, though, which I think is an awesome rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things that, as we enter the first period, 0-0 between the two, it's one of those things that's always been around, stalling calls. it's just become a little bit more prominent, especially at the college level.
The role of emphasis, they implemented more. They made that to let's emphasize that a little bit more.
That's what I would say. Yeah, it's just one of those things that keeps the action going in the match. 0-0 here in the second period. No takedowns scored yet. Looks like a closely matched finals match here. Gallegos looking to pull in a Russian. Lopez holding that good head position, kind of blocking her out still. No points here in the second period at the 113-pound finals. Lopez with a little inside shot attempt here. Nothing coming to fruition. Both wrestlers kind of here in a stalemate. No one's really letting him in to score. Gallego with a shot attempt. She's caught in the front headlock position. Lopez is going to keep working here, see if she can score some points. Nothing yet here. No points scored. Lopez looking to get the angle. She gets the go behind for 2. Lopez scores the first points of the match here in the second period. A takedown. About 45 seconds coming up here in the second period. On top, Lopez breaking down. Gallego's going to work to fight those hands and stay on her base and keep working up to her feet. Sit out attempt, controlling the hands, looking up. Gallegos is working, but Lopez is being tough on top. Back to her feet, and she gets the escape. 2-1. 2-1 here in the second period. Snap attempts by Lopez. Nothing coming of it. And it looks like we're going to end the second period. Lopez still with a 2-1 advantage here going to the third period. It is Gallego's choice. She is going to choose down. Starting in the down position, she is down by 1 point. An escape here would tie this match right up. On the whistle, Gallego's little stand-up attempt. Lopez with the return. Back to hand fighting. Gallego's going to work to control those hands to come up. Lopez doing a really good job of her forward pressure, staying on top, covering the hips, working to keep her down. Sit out attempt, just to create some separation from the hips on bottom. Work for a way up. Up to her feet, Gallego's up to her feet. Lopez looking to hold on to score that point. And she's still holding on. Ooh, we're gonna go out of bounds. Warning, stalling. Oh, pushing out.
So can you actually get a physical penalty by maybe a too aggressive move like that, Ryan?
It depends. There is unsportsmanlike calls that are called for certain like slams or, or a really aggressive elbows on top.
And what is the penalty on that? Is that points taken away?
It's points taken, or not points taken away, but points given to the opposing wrestler. That case is, in that situation there, Gallegos was on her feet looking to, if she would have got away, she would have tied this match. But they were on the side of the boundary, and Lopez pushed her out of bounds to keep the position as they go out of bounds. But right now, secondary ref is going to call locking hands on top. So it's going to tie the match. It's going to tie the match 2-2 here in the third period. It might not seem like it, but Gallegos, the bottom wrestler, is going to have an advantage. She's got 48 seconds to get to her feet to score a point. Lopez has to do her best to stay on top to keep this a tie right now, unless she can turn her to her back.
And that comes from her trailing for the first 2 periods, correct?
Yeah. Lopez doing a good job, though, breaking her down. Still really tight on that wrist, working to turn here. She's reaching in. Nothing here. 20 seconds. It's going to be a close one here at the end. Gallego back to her feet. She's got to return her. Lopez has got to return her. If she doesn't, she's already being hit with stalling. She gets the point. She gets the point on the escape. Lopez needs to attack here. And nothing here.
Whoa.
We got Gallego's going to hold on, and she's going to win. Xiomara Gallego is going to be your champion of the Queen of the Mat tournament here in Brawley High School.
By decision from
Oh,
Poway.
very good match. So, Ryan, in between breaks right here, I'd like Billy to welcome VSN here. Much appreciate Billy Brewer here, athletic director. We were talking about all the years. Now we're looking at the years. You were going, Will, I only got a couple more years left. How many years do you have here now, Billy?
I believe this is my 28th year.
28th year here at Brawley Union High School. And once again, man, thank you for always, coming through for VSN. Not just, this is our second year doing the Queen of the Mat here. And we're also looking forward to CIF championships for the girls down here, right, Billy?
Saturday, November the 5th, we host Division II finals.
And that's always a good one right there. That's going to be packed. So VSN was going to, be able to be here at that time for that. And the other thing is, Billy, VSN will be at the Hopeville Rotary Tournament down there at Hopeville, which is, that's on the boys' side of it. And that's always something very exciting because, everybody from the local teams and Brawley being, they're Division II or Division III this year, Billy?
They're Division III, yeah, they're division below us.
Oh, so
I mean, on the boys' side, we're Division III, they're Division IV, yes.
So as we give Ryan a chance to get some of this action going on in here, I have a question for you. What's good to see, Ryan and I were talking about this, Billy, was that, Poway always being the powerhouse in the boys wrestling, in their own, thing, the powerhouse when it comes to wrestling. Ryan's telling me that they're barely starting their girls program down there. But it's good to see Mount Carmel that's here and then Poway down here. So that Brawley wrestling program, they're not up to par to Brawley's yet.
No, absolutely not. And Ryan and I were having this conversation earlier today. They practice with the boys, which is tough.
Yeah.
Boys have a great chance of winning the state championship at Poway this year. And so that makes it tough, obviously, and to get kids out if you don't have female versus female.
Yeah. Well, Billy, once again, thank you for everything you do for VSN down here, especially when it comes to us coming down here to visit. So once again, I'll see you in a little bit, Billy. Thanks for talking to us here.
I appreciate it, Will, and we appreciate VSN and yourself doing everything you do for the Valley and Brawley Union High School, buddy.
I'll see you next week, if not Wednesday, because you got the Hopeville coming in.
We have Hopeville coming here at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Hope to see everybody out here from the Imperial Valley supporting wrestling here. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Will.
We had an interview, but we had a pretty exciting quick match.
Yeah, I was trying to get to it, but I mean, it really.
Yeah, we had Eve Norvin a junior from Point Loma, wrestling against Dallery DJ Juarez, who was a freshman from BUHS. She had a record of 15-3, and she was pretty aggressive. Got a couple turns, got a takedown, a couple turns, a couple exposures, and was able to get the pin. So Dallery Juarez is your freshman champion from Brawley Union High School at 118 points.
Ryan, we got a little catching up to do here.
Oh, man. As I was breaking that one down, we had this is one of those round robin brackets.
Oh, okay.
So your champion here is Kayla Lim. She's a sophomore from West Hills High School.
Now, you talk about excitement. Look at that is exciting. And for me, I just love that when it comes to any sport, the excitement they get out of it, especially in the individual sport like that. That is so, look at it. You're seeing it with their coach.
Yeah, they're
celebrating.
Happy.
Cool.
Especially, like this one single mat isolated in a big gym with people in it, it can rile some pretty emotional responses, both ways. Excitement, a little bit of sadness, a little pressure, a little extra pressure, because we talk about team sports, but the individual aspect of the sport is right in front of you. It's just you and your opponent.
Yeah,
and
in
now
front of center stage.
Center stage.
And Ryan, it looks like we're looking at another Poway Mount Carmel matchup.
Interesting here, because these teams, I don't know how they're working in the females' sides of the sport, but in the males' side, these are the same division, same conference, so they duel each other during their regular season. These schools do. But we are at the 128-pound weight class here. We have Lexi Lopez. She is a sophomore from Mount Carmel High School. She got a record of 4-1. She was second at Queen of the Lake this year. Her opponent from Poway is Alejandra Valdivieso. She's a sophomore as well from Poway High School. She's 12-2. She took first at the Queen of the Lake, first at Queen of the Beach, and third at Reno Tournament of Champions. She placed third at CIF last year. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say that these girls have wrestled before.
Well, just their introduction right now, Ryan, was pretty impressive.
If they
that
were
resume, you know.
If they were at the same weight class at Queen of the Lake, one of them placed first, one of them placed second. So here in the first period, about a minute down, both wrestlers still working for that first takedown. What do you think of getting to watch more wrestling, Will?
Well, it's just something that sometimes when you're away from it, you don't pay attention to it. Then you get back into it, and you start to get involved in it, and you start to enjoying it again, Ryan. And then that's what's happening with me. I really enjoy it, and then I got to see firsthand how much in the last 3-4 years the girls wrestling program has grown. I mean, Brawley 3 years ago didn't fill all the weights, and now they have enough for 2. So for me, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
And then to see it snowball, towards the other schools is once again also an impressive thing for me to watch in a sport that is really kind of exciting because it relays into, because we all love that UFC stuff, so we can relate to it a little bit,
Yeah, it's great to see, especially in the female side. I think the female wrestling it's so dynamic. It's so different than the boys. It's the same, but it's different. You get different kind of styles. Naturally, the females being a little bit more flexible with their bodies creates more interesting position situations. Like you won't see as many pins as you would on the boys' side, just naturally because these girls can contort and move some ways the boys can't. So it's very interesting to see different styles. Some girls are passive, some girls are aggressive. It's really great to see. I enjoy the girls wrestling. But we are into the second period here. It looks like it was Poway's choice, taking bottom here into the second period. No score on the clock. Valdivieso is up, but Lopez is going to bring her returner to the mat. Working on top here. And I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with these females, but that other matchup we had between Mount Carmel and Poway, the other wrestler from Mount Carmel, I think, was also named Lopez. So they may be sisters.
Well, especially out of the same high school.
Same high school, yeah. Close in weight class. Sounds just like a dream situation, just being able to grow up with your sibling and play a sport.
And be good at it. Naturally just push each other into that competition. Yeah.
Some tough wrestling here at the edge of the mat. Oh, they're going to give her the escape here. A loss of control on top is going to give Valdivieso a point here with about a minute left in the second period.
I was mentioning to Billy, VSN will be at the Hopeville tournament. That will be next week. It will be in the Hopeville High School, and that's I don't even know what year it is, but it's the Rotary tournament, which is always a big turnout.
I'm pretty sure we're in the 50s.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure. That is by far my favorite tournament of every year. The hospitality there, the people down at Hopeville, they are great hosts every year. It's just a great tournament. Just seeing the same people every year still there, volunteering, helping out. It's great. I
now
love
that's
it.
a 2-day tournament, right, Ryan?
It is a 2-day tournament.
But then again, and the one thing about it last year I witnessed is the semifinals, man, they are really exciting, those semifinals. We will probably be doing just the highlights, to show it another day, but we definitely, we'll be doing the finals over there as we are here. So it'll probably just be the final show at the end of the day, which is always exciting to see.
Yeah, the semifinals are always great. It's always great. It's like you always end up having 2 finals matches in that situation, and it's just great to see. But we carry a 1-0 lead for Valdivieso out of Poway here heading into the third period. I think Lopez took neutral here. So whoever scores this next takedown is going to put themselves in a comfortable position, try and get a win here in this match. Lopez still pressuring the action, driving Valdivieso back here. Valdivieso is going to circle back in, and she's going to work Lopez at the edge of the mat. We're going to go out of bounds and reset on the referee's whistle here. Been a minute and a half left here in the match. Valdivieso is holding a 1-0 lead over Lopez from Mount Carmel. Good shot attempts here by Lopez, trying to get inside, score that takedown. Really good head position here on these wrestlers. Lopez driving out again, and then she's going to get hit with a stalling. A second stalling call will award Lopez a point.
Oh, okay.
So Poway has to be engaging. She has to be in this match moving forward. Can't be backing up. Lopez is doing a really good job of driving and working to score points, working to wrestle. So with that stalling call, it's going to force Valdivieso to get in there, stay in there, and hold her ground and try and work for a takedown as she attempts a shot there. Lopez carrying that front headlock position is going to work to pull down. Look for a go behind here if she can. Valdivieso works her way back up. Working out of those ties. Head position still really good. Good snap by Lopez. Pull her down, see if she can do anything with it. Attempts to go behind. Valdivieso's quick back to her feet. Snaps here. 30 seconds remaining in this period, in this match. Another shot attempt by Lopez. On the edge of the mat here. This could be interesting. Another shot attempt. Circle, circle on the edge out. I do want to take a second and shout out the Mount Carmel coaches. No matter where, no matter what level of tournament, for finals, they always put on a shirt and tie. It's great to see.
Well,
the kids
look,
love
Ryan,
it.
When the shirt fits like that, I think you can wear anything, and you know,
Oh,
it's going to happen.
Desperation. Lopez looks for a throw. Nothing yet. No control awarded. And she's not going to get it. Valdivieso pulls out the side, and that's time. That's going to be the match. Nice attempt by Lopez. She almost had her.
You know, you could see, we talked about that earlier. We talked about the excitement, but you can see the disappointment.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ryan, got to give her credit. She went for it. She went for it.
She went for it. She almost had it.
That
was a good match.
That was a very good match. Congratulations to both.
It's tough. It's a tough loss in front of these people, but you know what?
And not only that, you know they see each other all the time, so they need, you know, you mentioned that earlier, how they, you know, they've been wrestling, they're probably in the same league over there, so they know each other well. I'm curious to find out, and I'll look that up later to see what the record is, you know, head to head against those two.
It might be, yeah, it might just be 1-0. Well, now it might be 2-0, unfortunately.
Oh, that's because they were in that tournament we talked about earlier, right?
Correct. That's just going off speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just referencing that Hopeville tournament again, it's going to be a good time. Every year, great competition. It's always good for the Valley to see that full, broad landscape of what kind of competition there is in San Diego County for wrestling.
Yeah, no, CJ, Hopeville High School, CJ Johnson, they do an excellent job down there. The hospitality, you know, a couple of years ago when we started doing it, that was our first VSN broadcast live streaming that we did out of the Hopeville gym over there. So once again, credit to that whole CJ and that whole wrestling community that they have down there in Hopeville. And we look forward to seeing them next week.
Yeah, CJ's the man. CJ's the man.
Congratulations to CJ and his son, both CIF champions again last year.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It's a good thing to go out on there. So we have our 133-pound finals here. We have Evangelique Zapata Guzman. She's a sophomore from Rancho Buena Vista High School, a record of 7-6 on the year, wrestling against Brawley's Genesis Garcia. She's a senior, and she's 10-4 on the year with a 5th place at Olympian, and last year was 5th place at CIF. Both wrestlers here in the first period still working for a takedown. Guzman gets behind Zapata but has to return Garcia to score the takedown. No control established yet. No return. That is the takedown. Guzman scores the first points of the match and quickly puts a leg in here, working on top. Garcia's building up, still trying to, working to turn through, and it looks like she's going to get the reversal. Garcia gets the reversal on top, Score is 2-2 here with a minute remaining in the first period. Tough wrestling here on top by Garcia at the edge of the mat. Working to put a half in. Looks like she's going to take the bar around the other side. It's going to expose, back exposure here. She's going to get some referee swipes. That looks like a good exposure there. And she's going to get the pinfall.
Explain one thing to me. You mentioned swipes. Is that because it's getting close to being touching?
It's basically a second count of exposure. But your champion with a pinfall in the first period is Genesis Garcia, a senior out of Brawley Union High School. Nice for a senior to get a win here in front of the home crowd in the last year wrestling in the tournament.
Ryan, I was pretty impressed with that. She got taken down with 1 point down, got the reversal, and then was able to pull it off with a very impressive move. I don't even know, what was that move called?
So just a bar arm. She straightened her bar and was able to run around the corner and was able to expose. It was a good win. Good match. Now, here is the
here you go.
we're here to talk about.
This, you don't need to read your notes on this one.
No, it's one of those ones, but
don't miss no action because this could be quick.
139-pound finals. We have Amber Spencer, a freshman from Santana High School, who's got a record of 10-5, going up against Brawley's Savannah Gomez. She's a junior. She's 18-0 on the season. She doesn't have any tournament placings yet this year, it looks like, or it wasn't noted. But she is ranked number 1 in the state at her weight class. She's second in the nation, and she's Fargo champion, showcase champion. She's also even a junior world team member.
Yeah, no,
she's a dedicated wrestler, in for a shot. Already has a 4-2 lead, straight to the back. Gonna get some exposure here.
I'm gonna go out on a limb saying that's probably the highest women wrestler that Brawley has had.
Yes.
Yeah. By far.
As far as accolades, yes, definitely. Yes. There were some female wrestlers that we had when girls wrestling had just started, and there was only one girl on the team. Her name was Victoria Smith.
Right.
And she was a one-man show for a while. Had a couple of teammates show up after her first year. She was a really good wrestler. Unfortunately, there wasn't as big of a platform for female wrestling.
And she took wrestling to the next level, right?
She was one of those girls that just helped promote it here. Savannah gets that arm bar. Is going to look for exposure again. 8-0 lead. It's going to get the pinfall here. Nothing short of what we expected. Unfortunately, out of Savannah tonight.
Well, it's got to be an honor to be wrestling somebody ranked number 1 in the state of California and being ranked in the nation too. So I'm sure she gets the pride out of wrestling her. Hey, I got a chance to wrestle her.
Yeah, and she's a freshman. She went right after her.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you want to see. You don't want to see those girls, you know, or people in general just shy away from that competition. It's good to see that. It's good for the sport.
That's true. Very good point,
yeah,
Ryan.
Savannah Gomez is your champion here, and we'll look to see what she can do the rest of this postseason, see what we got moving forward for her.
No, look forward to seeing her in the CIF that, you know, VSN, as I mentioned earlier with Billy and yourself, we will be covering the CIF finals here at Brawley, California at Bob Farrell Sports Complex.
Coming up here in the 145-pound weight class, we have Roxanne Rabb out of Claremont High School. She's a freshman, a record of 8-6 on the year. She placed 4th at Olympia and 5th at Queen of the Beach. Wrestling gets Lily Rodriguez, a freshman from Central Union High School. She's got a record of 9-0, and she was first at the Goddess of Olympian tournament.
And it's good to see Coach Sanchez from the Central program here. He helped us out with VSN last year, so it's always good to see good things come his way.
Yeah.
A state champion himself from the city of Calexico.
Yes. I think Calexico's got the most state champions out of the Valley in their program. But he's coaching with AJ Smith, another wrestler from Central. He grew up here, wrestled at Central. It's good to see the coaches here giving back to their programs. But Rodriguez is going to score that her second takedown of the match, 4-1 here in the first period. About a minute left in the period to go. Rodriguez tough on top here, returning to the mat. out of bounds. We're going to reset on the referee's whistle.
Well, I'm glad we got Luke helping us out here from the Brawley Wrestling program, because we actually don't have the score table in front of us. So, Luke, once again, thank you for helping out Joaquin over here. Really appreciate it.
Rodriguez still forcing that action here on top. Rab doing a good job building back up to her base. Looking to control some hands, get up. Rodriguez is going to over pursue to the front, giving Rab an opportunity to work back up. They're going to call a locking hands on Rodriguez on top here. So the call has already been made that the wrestler locked hands. There's a grace period allowed
To let it go?
to let it go. But if for some reason the wrestler who is on bottom, if they have an opportunity to get away and score more points, they're going to keep letting it go. So basically what Rab just did, she got the penalty point awarded for locking hands because Rodriguez locked hands on top. And the reaction was able to keep going, and she scored an escape point as well.
So that's 2 points.
That's 2 points. So if the grace period, if the referee doesn't see like there's an advantage going to be made, he'll stop the match wherever it's at. He'll award the point for the locking hands, and they'll start back in their original position.
So, but he does have a choice to stop it right away if on the locking hands at times.
True. There should be a little couple second grace period just as the referee watches the action continue. But we are heading into the second period, 4-3 in favor of Rodriguez from Central. I believe it was her choice, and she chose bottom. But a penalty point is going to be awarded to Rodriguez as Rab got caught using an illegal hold. She got caught using a full Nelson. So that's an automatic stop. We're going to stop that right away.
When did that full Nelson stop come in?
It should have never really been legal. If it was, I don't remember it ever being legal in my sense. Just because a half Nelson obviously is one hand under the armpit behind the neck. A full Nelson would be another locking hands goal.
I'm sorry, that's where I got confused. I thought they because I remember the half Nelson being legal. It's the full Nelson that's not legal.
Correct.
Okay, that's where I got confused. See, I'm getting a little bit my wrestling memory back.
You've been gone too long.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the full Nelson is two hands under both armpits, locked behind the head, which allows you to create too much pressure on the neck. It's just something that's out of the sport to make sure there should be a grace period there. But that is the second, that's 2 points. So, there's been 3 technical violations called on Rav from Claremont. At the third call of an illegal technical violation, instead of being awarded 1 point, Rodriguez is awarded 2 points. So far, she's gotten 4 points awarded off technical violations.
So technically, the score would be 5-3 without those violations.
Correct. So
that's a big difference right there.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, and because you're only talking 2 points difference by taking away those violations.
Yeah. The biggest difference here, though, is if it happens one more time, the match is over.
Oh.
Yeah. If she has another illegal violation, technical violation, then the match is over.
Well, I'm going to say this, Brian, if I don't say it again. I'm glad you're here to explain some of these rules.
No worries. You know what? This is a sport I absolutely love, and I'm glad that I can, be here and be a part of it.
Now, VSN really appreciates you explaining, for some of the people like myself that been away from the sport a while, to explain, just there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Especially with the hand signals from the referees.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure as a football referee, there's a big catalog of hand signals you got to remember and going through it all.
No, you're exactly right. And
Rodriguez going to attempt the throw here. Was able to control. Rab slips out the back and scores the takedown to make it 9-5. 30 seconds remaining here in the second period. Rab is going to lock up a cradle. She's going to work to pull it back, and she's going to get some exposure. The referee starts to count. Oh, and they're going to call the pin.
Well, good for Rab, though. She came back after getting those things. She had enough confidence, Ryan, and she did that move. Wow.
Yeah, it's, anything can happen at any time. She stopped wrestling for a second, got a cradle put on, went to her back, and Rab's going to be your champion here. Roxanne Rab at a Claremont High School, 145-pound champion.
I saw a lot of confidence in Rab right there. That was a lot of confidence. She
Which
was
is-
disappointed in herself when she got those penalties, but
She shook him off.
yeah,
It came back and kept
Yeah.
wrestling, which is great. It's important to have, important to realize that there's plenty of time still on that clock.
wow.
Coming up to our 152-pound finals. She's really happy. She's really excited.
That was good to see.
Yeah.
Wrestling at 152 from Brawley
152-pound weight class here. Our finals here. We've got,
I'm going to go get her on the headset.
if you want to, we can.
Olivia Gaskill.
Who do you want to get?
Doesn't matter. Olivia Gaskill is a senior out of Eastlake High School. She's got a record of 12-7. She was first in Eagles Nest Brawl, 7th at the Dick Morris Invitational. Her opponent tonight is Paola Alcantar out of Brawley. She's a senior. She's got a record of 7-4. And she was 3rd at the Goddess of Olympia tournament. So, a couple of seniors, which means a lot, especially if they've been wrestling all 4 years. You know, they've pretty much been wrestling as long as the sport's been growing. Hand ties here. Gaskill controlling that wrist. A lot of walking back, though, here for Alcantar. Still no points here. Both wrestlers trying to get inside, try to get an angle for a takedown here. Gaskill being a little bit more aggressive here and controlling the ties. Ooh. Both wrestlers going to reset, still attempting here. .20 seconds remaining in the period, no score. Kind of a stalemate here on their feet early on. .3 seconds. Might end with no score here. No score here at the end of the first period. 0-0 between Gaskill and Alcantara. Choice is going to go to Alcantar. And she's going to take top.
I have a question, Ryan.
Yes.
Most of the time, when the wrestler has a choice whether they want top and bottom, they always look to the coach. Wouldn't you think as a wrestler she'd go, I feel more comfortable wrestling that at the top or the bottom? Or is there strategy behind that?
Let me answer that question with a question. If you're a head coach of a football program, do you want your quarterback calling his own plays? Or is he kind of those?
You know, it's coming to the point. I don't want him calling the plays, but I do want him changing them if it's different.
Yeah. So I understand. So in this situation, I would prefer, while I was coaching, I always wanted our wrestlers to look at us because we should, as coaches, know where our wrestler has better, where they wrestle better.
Okay, I see.
Sometimes in certain matches, if I trust my wrestler and the wrestler has trusted me, we'll look at each other and think about it.
And it's a mutual thing, huh?
It's kind of like how you feeling.
Yeah.
Kind of like there are some situations where it's kind of tough to tell. There are often times though where it's a strategy thing.
Especially when, depending what the point system, the point situation is.
Correct. Here, 0-0 as a coach, I would probably want my wrestler down first because being a bottom wrestler, you're more likely to stand up and get away than get turned and pinned.
And
So-
you get that point escaping.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes. And you always want to score the first point of the match because it has overtime implications. As Paola looking to drive that half.
Oh.
Yeah, that shoulder,
Ryan,
that flexibility,
Ryan,
I'm telling you.
Ryan.
That flexibility, but she looks like she's driving in the hip, has her head right there in the pocket. She's going to get the turn, and it is out of bounds. All that work, out of bounds. But
And obviously no points were awarded there because she didn't have full control, correct?
well, she had control, it's just she was out of bounds.
Oh, okay. this was started off as a kind of slow. It's picking up a little bit in the second period here.
Yeah, I didn't notice that Alcantara was a little frustrated right there. I think she really wanted those points. I feel like she worked hard, got in that position, and wasn't able to reap the benefits of her work there. But she's back to work here with 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Working on top still, looking to turn. Gasco is going to turn out, got some separation, is able to get up and score her point. Now, since Gasco scored her point first, it's going to be her choice heading into the third period if we get there, which is going to be interesting because if she chooses down again, she puts herself in the situation to escape and score another point.
Well, one interesting thing that you said a little while ago was by scoring the first points, that gives you an advantage if the match goes into overtime?
Correct.
How so?
So there are 3 overtimes, 3 overtime periods. If the match is tied after the 3 minutes, Alcatar walks in for a headlock and she misses it. But did they award points? Don't think they awarded points. Hold on. Okay, yeah, there you go. She got the takedown there. Gave her a takedown. So it's going to be 3-0 Gasco heading into the third period, and she's going to take top. Interesting. Okay, so there are 3 overtimes. There's a sudden death, which first person to score is a minute period after the third period. They both start on their feet. First person to score wins the match. If nobody scores in that minute period, they go to 2 30-second periods. Each get 30 seconds to wrestle top and bottom.
Regardless.
Regardless, they're wrestling 30 seconds. Each wrestler gets their choice of top, bottom. And if no one scores, she's got no locking hands. And if no one scores in that situation, Alcatar's pulling her over. He's going to get the 2. And she gets the fall.
Ryan, what a turn of events right here. After seeing Gasco.
That was a wild finish. But Paula Alcantar is going to be your champion here for Brawley Union High School at 152-pound weight class. Another senior getting a win here at home.
Well, not only that, Ryan, but I'm seeing that you can be behind by 2, 3, points and then actually make a very good comeback to win the match and just in a matter of less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, it literally is 6 minutes of anything.
You always have to be ready. That's one of the things.
So here is our other round robin bracket. So in this situation, we have 2 girls that have not lost yet. They both beat the other girl in the bracket, and so now they're wrestling for a true champion at 162. We have McKenna Hickman, who's a senior from Rancho Buena Vista High School. She's 16-6 on the year. 2nd at Dick Morris Memorial, 3rd at Queen of the Lake, 3rd at Lady Monarch Invitational. Her opponent tonight is Marina Morales, as a junior from West Hills High School. She's 8-3 on the season. She was 2nd place at Mount Miguel, 2nd place at Queen of the Sea, and 1st place at Queen of the Lake. Both wrestlers tying up here, upper body a little bit, looking for a throw. Little trip, but it looks like Hickman's going to end up on top here. Hickman's going to score the takedown. Morales working for her escape, and she's going to score 2-1. 2-1 here in the first period. Minute left. Another throw attempt by Morales. Hickman's going to step behind and pull her down and score another takedown to go up 4-1. And we're back on our feet, 4-2. Really aggressive here. Nice little snag single. Morales is going to finish. She's going to score 2, tie it up 4-4. Morales got a ball and chain and looking to pull on through. She's anchored that ankle with her right leg, keeping that weight, try and put the pressure on that knee, and she's going to reach under and try and pull that head underneath. As she pulls underneath, she wants to drive that leg up over the head. Hickman wasn't going to allow that to happen, and she was able to set free. work back up to her base. 4 seconds here, resting on the edge of the mat. I think we're going to head to the second period, tied at 4 apiece.
Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Before the final started, you were talking about the coach that's in the screen right there from Rancho Buena Vista. A lot of history right there.
Yeah, it's Coach Halsey. He's got a couple boys that were really prominent wrestlers in San Diego, not only San Diego County, but as well as the state level. Just good wrestling all over the place here. It's good to see them still a part of it.
Still part of the program and passing it forward.
Yes, it's an important part of it. I think we've always looked at it as kind of the family business.
Well, that's for sure. You've got as many years as your dad does, you know, coming in here. You and Ray and Tony, your dad. So it's good to see that. Yeah,
a lot of good people have given to that Brawley program their time and effort and energy. Sawyer Smith is one of the coaches with Tony now.
Yeah.
Daniel Howdigi,
boys. We were talking about Smith earlier. That's a family wrestling tradition right there. All those.
Yeah. So Victoria. So Sawyer is the older brother of Victoria who wrestled, and their younger brother Jaden wrestled a couple years ago. 3 different siblings wrestled. We got the Navarro family now. A couple other families in the past. The Elizalde family, the Moreno family. A lot of families here. Just kind of run through the program, and I love seeing it personally. Back to action here, though. Start of the second period. We're starting neutral. 4-4. Morales in on a shot.
Why was there a little bit of, I wouldn't say anger, but by Hickman before the start of the match when the referee was asking her some questions?
I have no idea. Maybe she's just really ready to go, amped up and ready to go. A lot of really aggressive wrestling though out of these 2 females here. Really working to score these points. It's tied here in the second period. Another good snag attempt by Morales. McKenna was able to evade the takedown and score points of her own. Another takedown for Hickman. But Morales again back to her feet, gets her escape. 6-5 is our score here. It looks like Morales is going to look to set up another headlock attempt. She jumps up for a front headlock and gives up position. Hickman's going to take advantage. She's going to score a takedown to get some back points as well. Got a couple swipes. I don't know if she got the full 5 or just 3 or 4. She got a full 5 count, granting her 3 points. Her lead goes to 11-5 now. As she works on top, looks like she's got a barbed wire attempt. And Morales is staying strong there on bottom. And work back up to her feet as she has been before. And she gets another, they're going to give her an escape point. So 11-6 here. Goes for a headlock and she hits her headlock. 10 seconds left. Willie's fighting the clock now. And she gets the pin.
We were just talking about that, Ryan. And look at that. This is what it's all about. This is one of the things that make this sport so exciting.
That was a battle. Marina Morales is your champion at 162 pounds at West Hills High School. She was down in the match 11-6. She didn't stop wrestling the entire time. She kept fighting, was able to pull a headlock and score a pinfall in the second period with 2 seconds left on the clock.
Not only that, it's just one of those things that you got to be on your toes because you catch somebody, you can never leave your guard right here. I mean, it wasn't women's wrestling wasn't like this years ago. It used to be more powerful. Now it's more technical, you know, and that's a credit to all the coaching staff. As we look on to another Spartan coming out on the field, first seeing Rancho Buena Vista.
Yep.
Another Rancho Buena Vista.
Yep, we have the 191-pound finals here. We have Kylie McLean. She's a junior from Rancho Buena Vista. She's 18-5. Third at Queen of the Hill, third at Goddess Olympian, second at Modern Day, first at Lady Big Cat, and first at Esperanza High School. Wrestling against Central Union's Myla Mora. She's a sophomore. She is undefeated on the year. She's first place at Goddess of Olympia, the novice tournament. It looks like we have a case of a pretty experienced wrestler versus a undefeated sophomore. McLean's going to get the first takedown, though. But Mora is moving and moving, looking to take advantage and score. Get back to her feet. Out of bounds, they're going to reset. A minute 24 left in the first period. McLean from RBV holds a 2-0 lead over Mora. Nice ankle breakdown by McLean. Pressure back on top, looking to score some more points, working a turn. Good hand control here. It looks like McLean's looking for a crossface cradle. She's working to get that crossface. Trying to take the head to the leg. Lock up a cradle. Mora's doing a good job of avoiding these positions here, working the hand control, fighting the hands. As McLean works for that crossface again. She's got that crossface, but Mora's fighting the hands like she's supposed to. Mora's reaching back for that leg, giving McLean an opportunity to put a half in. And this is where we might see some turn in. McLean follows, stays on top, riding that ankle. They're going to go out of bounds and reset. 17 seconds remaining in the first period.
How big is the Central's program with girls? Do you know, Ryan?
You know what? I've seen a good amount of girls here and there. I think
but getting bigger every year?
I think so. Just, you know, it's just a matter, it depends on the year. So we get more consistent girls out. They have coaches, which is an important part of it.
Yeah.
You know, any sport, coaches are so important. As Mora gets to her feet and attempts a headlock, but McLean is able to return her, and they are going to end the first period 2-0. Yeah, the coaching is an important part. Having the coaches there, make sure that they're pushing and promoting the sport.
And speaking of coaching, the Valley has a juvenile, or what's the Gladiators.
Oh, yeah, the kids programs.
The kids program, and that's a big plus right there. I've always said that feeder programs is what helps out everybody in general.
Yeah. Oh, no situation here. No point scored yet. Mora went for another throw. McLean was able to avoid it. McLean's going to score another takedown, make it 4-0. Yeah, little kids programs are extremely important. Just like Pop Warner is important for any of the sport. Little League is huge for baseball. You know, kids wrestling, getting the kids active and accustomed to the sport is an important part of it. And luckily, Brawley's had a decent kids program for a while. But, you know, hopefully, Hopeville's been really building one the past 10 years maybe. Mora's going to reverse the position here, and she's going to work for a fall. She's going to score her 2-point reversal. She's got exposure. She's going to get some back points. And I think she's going to get this fall. And she does.
Once it was mentioned here, Ryan, it has happened 3 matches in a row now
that's great.
Where the wrestler that has trailed has come back and pinned their opponent.
It's not over until it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, Myla Moore, sophomore, out of Central Union, is your champion at 191 pounds. And with that, there's one more. The last match.
Last match of a very, very exciting.
Very, very exciting finals.
Especially they've just been very exciting. It's always good to watch wrestling because like we've just witnessed the last 3 matches of, you know, girls wrestling that were behind in points to come back and be able to pin their opponent for the win.
Yeah.
As we say hi to VSN's one, Coach Sanchez. Congratulations, Coach. Good seeing you.
So here we are. the last match of the finals, and we are going to see teammate versus teammate. We have Deanna Guerrero, a sophomore from Still Canyon High School. She's 10-0, first at the Killer Bees, first at the Eagle Brawl, and third at Eastlake. Then we have Kennedy Jones, that's junior at Still Canyon High School, who's going to catch a half Nelson here and put Guerrero on her back. She's going to look for a fall, and she's going to get it.
Winner by fall from Steel Canyon, Kennedy Jones.
That was another quick one there. It's going to be Kennedy Jones is your champion at 237.
Match of the evening. We will begin the
And as we get ready, being the last match of the evening, I'd like to once again thank you, Ryan. I mean, very impressive the knowledge you have for this wrestling. Not just the women, but you've been involved in this wrestling program for a lot of years. You know, your dad leading the helm here for the Brawley Wildcats, 20-time CIF champion. So on behalf of VSN, really appreciate it. Now we're going to wait for we're going to have a team champion. Is that correct, Ryan?
I believe so. Yeah, there will be an award for the team champion.
All right. So from VSN, Ryan Leon, we're going to take a break for commercial ads, and we will be right back.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today 760-337-8600.
Reducing energy use during the summer is more important than ever. This summer, IID encourages you to do your part by setting your thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoiding the use of large appliances between 4 and 9 p.m., and turning off all unnecessary lighting. But there's more. IID provides a number of summer energy-saving opportunities to help you make the most of your energy savings efforts. Check out our tips and energy saving guides at IID.com. Let's work together to stay cool and save energy this summer.
Whether you're looking to purchase or sell, Your next home awaits. Give the Dom team a call. With over 50 years of experience and over 100 years in the Imperial Valley, Andy and Doug can help you find the right home at the right price fast. Visit us online at www.thedomteam.com and let Andrew and Doug find the perfect home for you. Call today 760-337-8600.
Welcome back, everybody. Once again, Will Torres with Ryan Leone. Very exciting women's wrestling match, Ryan.
It was great. It was great. I love watching wrestling. Doesn't matter, boys, females. It's just great to see these kids come out here and compete.
Tournaments like this, like I said, we got next week, we got the Hopeville tournament. Everybody tune in that can't make it, especially out-of-town team stuff.
Yeah.
As we wait for, like you said, this is Ray Leone's baby right here, this queen of the mat. It's gotten a lot of compliments from out-of-town schools that came today, and it looks like this is one of those momentum things, one of those tournaments that turns into momentum that people keep coming back and it keeps growing.
Yeah, like he said, so this is the 4th actual tournament they've had. It's been 5 years, but obviously we didn't have 1 year because of COVID. And he's only gotten more and more requests to try and come down. I think it just matters of being on the right weekend.
Yeah.
As long as there's no other female tournament going on that's going to draw other teams. But it could keep growing more and more.
And here he comes right now. We'd like to congratulate him. So come on in here, Coach.
At 103, in 4th place, from Steel Canyon.
Coach, congratulations. As Ray Leone here, coach of the girls program here at Brawley Union High School. Congratulations on a well-run tournament here. This is the 5th year of the tournament, Ray?
Yes, 5th year.
And in regards to today's tournament, Tony, who was the team champion?
Brawley High Wildcats.
Now that's not just home field advantage. That's just part of the Brawley tradition that Ryan and I were talking about earlier, where it involves, because it trickled down effect from the boys wrestling program.
That is correct.
You have one of the biggest girls programs, but it was good to see you saw, your powerhouses that were not only on the boys side, but you're seeing them now on the women's side with the Powways, your Mount Carmels and stuff like that.
That is
so
correct.
Credit to, this type of thing in the women's wrestling, to coaches like you that Ryan had mentioned earlier. It takes the coaches to start these type of programs right here. Tell us a little bit about
in 2nd place,
what's going on right now with the outstanding wrestlers that's happened tonight.
Right now they'll be announcing all the division winners. They're starting out with the 103s, and they'll work their way all the way up to the heavyweights, which is 237. Then we'll announce the team winners.
Which was Brawley, the team champion. Who got second on that?
Yes, 2nd place was Steel Canyon.
Good, so congratulations to Steel Canyon. Outstanding wrestler?
Outstanding wrestlers is going to be one of our lightweights at 118s, Valerie Juarez, 118.
And you know what? I'm probably going to let Ryan take over here because he knows a lot more of some of the awards that are going on right now. Ryan, go ahead and take it over from us right here.
Did you have an upper weight?
Yes, I surprised at the tournament. Really surprised me, and I think she's due the MVP. And that's just from Central, El Central 189-pounder.
Oh, Moya.
One of the ones that came back. She was down in points. She came back.
Yes, that is correct. I think both matches she was down.
Mora.
Yeah, Mora.
Yeah, tough girl, tough match. It was good.
The first match I saw her wrestle, which probably was her 2nd match, was against the Steel Canyon girl, and she was losing badly. And she had a no-quit mentality, and she ended up reversing the Steel Canyon girl and pinning her. I'm really impressed by that 189-pounder.
Yeah, it's good actions for the finals. Just curious, obviously this is a tournament we want to keep going and keep growing.
Yes.
Obviously, as the landscape changes as far as, COVID and whatever, as we move into another season next year, what kind of changes do you want to see as far as this tournament is concerned?
I really would like to see more San Diego teams. I think we do a quality tournament. We take care of the refs, we take care of the coaches. We give out outstanding awards. Not only do they get a medal, but they get a tiara, a crown, and they get a sash along with it. So I really try to get more teams to come down, and it's worth it. And then after a while after that, we'll try to bring over some LA schools, some tough LA teams to come on over and dip their feet in these waters over here.
Well, and we were talking about this earlier. VSN and Brawley Union High School will be hosting the CIF finals in the girls Division II championship. So I mean that in itself right there is good. So it's good to see things like that happening when they have the finals and masters here in Imperial Valley.
Yes, like I said, I'm really for these girls since I started coaching them. Really want to see them grow, the sports grow. It's growing all over not only the state, but all over the nation. Especially here in the Valley. Imperial's got a decent team. Hopeville's got a decent team. And like I said, they're growing. The numbers are growing.
Good. Final thoughts, Ryan Leon?
It's great. It's a great tournament. Great action. My favorite part about these tournaments is the ability to have these girls get mat time. Having the novice tournament, having them to have the opportunity to just get on the mat. Some of these girls, this is their very first tournament. Not being able to wrestle last year, it's important, and it's great to see them come out and wrestle, and you get to see that emotion, you know, some girls winning big matches.
Coach, final thoughts on the tournament?
It's a well-run tournament. I think a little bit lower numbers than I was anticipating, but this COVID has really put a damper on it. But we'll continue to work hard and continue to try to grow the girls' sport of wrestling.
So, on behalf of ESN, we want to thank you, Billy Brewer, and the whole wrestling community for allowing us to live stream this. And I'd like to thank Ryan Leon. Ryan Leon, you did an excellent job today. I'm really, I don't even want to use the word impressed, but I am impressed with the knowledge that you have, and that's just that wrestling community that is carried down from the Leon family. So, from Ryan Leon, Coach Ray Leon, Will Torres, Salud, Ron on camera, our main guy right here, Joaquin, VSN, good night, and thank you for watching. Support your local high school scholar athlete. Good night.